In 2003, Cedar Point, America's roller coaster, opened up Top Thrill Dragster to the public, debuting as the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Top Thrill Dragster broke 3 records for being the world's tallest complete circuit roller coaster, tallest roller coaster, and fastest. This was 3 years after Cedar Point broke the 300-foot mark. Now they have the 400-foot mark. Cedar Point was developing as what we know today as America's roller coaster capital of the world, but incidents ensued with this ride. This is my first video on this channel. I don't have a name yet, so you'll see when I post this video what my name will be. But I just hope that you guys enjoy this content. I'm going to be talking about amusement parks and roller coasters alike. So drop a sub, drop a like, that would help a lot. Today, this isn't a full history on the ride. We're going to be talking and discussing the future of the attraction following the incident in 2021 that has closed the ride since. And it was later announced a few days ago that the ride will not be running for the 2022 season. Will it reopen in 2023? Or will it be closed forever and make way for a new roller coaster? And what can the park do to make this ride safer? So we're going to talk about that today. So buckle up, and we're not going to launch off because the ride is closed. To understand why this is a bigger deal than just this event that happened in 2021, we have to look back at 3 events that happened in Top Thrill's history that also could be a causing factor in why this ride may never open up again. So let's look first back on July 14th, 2004. On that date, 4 people were struck by flying debris, while the coaster reports indicated that a metal cable was frayed during the launch, and it sheared off shards of metal that struck the riders. If you go to August 7th, 2016, 2 people were treated for minor injuries when the launch cable detached from the ride. This ride was closed the following day while the park and Ohio State officials investigated the incident, but it later opened that week up. And in 2017 of September, a report with photos surfaced that indicated that the braking system on the launch side of the track may have been damaged, causing the ride to close indefinitely, but Cedar Point didn't acknowledge the incident and stated the closure was down for maintenance issues, as always. This all leads up to the event in 2021 when a guest was struck waiting in the queue line when a small metal piece of the ride, the L frame that flew off the train, hit her and struck her in the head. And it was later, near the end of the ride, the guest was taken to a local hospital, but the family has kept the severity of the injury a secret. But from what reports are saying, obviously I can't speak on what the family says because it's been a secret, she will need lifetime care, but she will recover, just not fully. This prompted the park to close the ride for the rest of the 2021 season. Recently, as of February 18th, 2022, a 620-page report by the Ohio Department of Agriculture, it stated insufficient evidence to find the action or inactions of Cedar Point violated any of the laws. You can read the full report at the ODA link in my bio if you really want to go through 620 pages, but Cedar Point announced the ride will not run in the 2022 season. This prompted many enthusiasts and GP alike to believe that the ride may never open up again. So let's discuss the possibilities in the future of Top Thrill Dragster. There are 2 possibilities that could happen and determine the fate of the ride. Let's take a look at the first possibility. The ride will close forever and to be demolished. So let's listen to that. Considering this is the 4th incident with the ride, and the ride is also down and known for Top Thrill downtime, Cedar Point and the management could ultimately decide that this ride is too much to take care of and it's prone to too many incidents. Taking Top Thrill out would be a major hit to the park, and they just remove Wicked Twister and possibly Max Air, but that's for another video. This isn't the only incident with a Intamin made ride. If we look back at Shoot the Rapids, but that's for another video also. But this isn't a good history they've had with Intamin in the past, so they ultimately could decide to take this ride out of the park and never work with Intamin again. This would leave the skyline still looking great because Cedar Point has an amazing skyline, but this would definitely take a hit to it, and a major attraction following would have to top that. And the only thing I can really think of is either a 500-foot T-Rex or a 500-foot polar coaster. But like I said, I don't think this will happen. I think the next possibility we're going to talk about is a lot more feasible. The other possibility is the ride will undergo maintenance to fix all the issues that this ride has had over the years, fix the loose parts, weld those parts, put some side rails, some side guards, and some safety nets that could be above the queue, because if this ride opens up again, it will have to have major overhaul with the ride itself and the queue line to keep the guests safe. if I was in charge of the decision making in this process for Cedar Fair and Cedar Point, I would either put obviously a high strength net over the queue, because you can't move the queue anywhere else. There's no possibility, unless you take out the seats where you can watch the ride launch off. I don't think it's possible to move the queue for this ride. But they could also enclose the entire queue line with a building. You could theme that building to Top Thrill Dragster's theme with the dragster cars and make a cool area in there that's also air conditioned. But I want to hear what you guys think about this, and if you were Cedar Fair and Cedar Point, what your decision would be regarding the future of Top Thrill Dragster. And I saw also on Facebook that the reason that this year it's closed, because during the investigation, Cedar Point probably wasn't even allowed to touch the ride at all. So now that the investigation is complete, they can work on the ride and around the ride, modifying it. And this doesn't leave much time in May, obviously, for the ride to open. So that's why it's going to be closed for this year. But that's just a theory.